Good day, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. Thanks for listening. It's Tuesday, September the 23rd, 2025. And we went a little nuts on the protein this morning. I think we're about 100 grams of protein already. It's not even 8 o'clock in the morning. So if this gets a little aggressive, you'll know why. But I'm also enjoying a very nice cup of coffee, which I enjoy making every morning in the same ritual. I think I've talked about this before. It's like a meditation almost. So that's pretty good. Otherwise, I was looking at, well, it's going to be a very nice day here again, in the 70s. Actually, it'll hit 80. And so New York's going to be nice. And but in my random city today, the random city picker, and I'm just moving continent by continent. So today's continent is Africa, and the random city picker chose Fianarantsoa, Madagascar, a city in Madagascar, a city in the highlands of Madagascar, which of course is off the southeastern coast of Africa. City in the highlands with a rich history and student population known for its traditional architecture and local culture. A little more on that. Fianarantsoa means good education in Malagasy. It's a cultural and intellectual center of the whole island. It's home to some of the oldest Protestant and Lutheran cathedrals on the island. This is according to Wikipedia. The oldest theological seminary, also Lutheran, as well as the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Fianarantsoa, seated in the Cathedral of the Holy Name of Jesus. The city of good education also boasts a university named after it and built in 1972. Fianarantsoa is considered to be the capital of wine in Madagascar. Similar to yesterday's city, I think. Wine country. Because of the presence of many wine industries in the city. So let's see, it's got an altitude of 1,200 meters, 3,900 feet, and a population of 191,766 people. So very, very interesting. I've never been to Madagascar, and it would be really cool to check it out. So has anybody been to Madagascar? What do you think? Leave us a note. Tell us your experience. It would be very, very cool to hear your experience. As far as holidays today, today is actually the autumn equinox in Japan, Tuesday the 23rd. And I was confused because on my calendar it showed it for today, and that's because I have a Japan and US-based calendar, given my connection to Japan. So other holidays, well, today is Rosh Hashanah in many countries. Blessed Rainy Day in Bhutan. I'm not sure what that is, and I'm not going to go into that today. There's a festival in Cambodia, Saudi National Day in Saudi Arabia, and Slovenian Sports Day in Slovenia. So a few things going on around the world, but here in the U.S. we do have Rosh Hashanah and the day after the autumn equinox, and it really feels like even though it's going to be warm, it really feels like we're in fall, and as I've said many times, that's very good for me as far as I'm concerned. I'm really looking forward to this season. So, all right, in random news, excuse me. In random news, something that you never thought you needed, and, well, I don't know if you think you're going to need it, but I ran across this article that Carnival Cruise Lines has partnered with Van Leeuwen ice cream, which if you've had Van Leeuwen ice cream, it's very, very tasty, okay? But they've partnered with Van Leeuwen ice cream to make a sunscreen-flavored ice cream, okay? So according to the cruise line, the unusual flavor aims to combat what Carnival calls the end of summer scaries, or the bittersweet feeling when the season of sunshine and carefree moments wind down. Sunscreen, however, is not in the listed as one of the ingredients. The ice cream is made with cream, coconut cream, milk, cane sugar, egg yolks, cocoa butter, natural flavors, vanilla extract, and sea salt. Now, if you told me that the ice cream had those ingredients in it, I would be like, oh, that sounds really tasty. Obviously, they're going for the coconut angle. But for me, if I hear sunscreen flavored, I don't know. That does not make my mouth water. So marketing wise, at least for me, that's not a hit. How about you? Would you eat this ice cream if all you were told is that it tasted like sunscreen? It's not going to be available for public purchase initially, but they're offering it to Carnival fans or something. I'm not sure. It's kind of a very limited edition, and I hope they rename it and call it, Coconut Heaven or something. Then I might be interested in it. Okay. All right. So what's going on? I've just been thinking about random, not necessarily random things, but different things. I was in a conversation yesterday with a business colleague of mine who had been talking to a professor about the psychology of sort of your political leanings, and that there's a genetic component. And I had remembered hearing about this a few years back, that there was some research. So anyway, I went and watched a YouTube video on it and looked at some other research, and sure enough, there is research that shows that how you land, in your political affiliation, there is a link to, sort of a predisposition, shall we say. And that's not actually what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is just in this time of such crazy polarity and division, and I think social media has helped us divide even more, and to be able to really retreat to our own camps. I just think that business today has such an important role in bringing people together who may disagree about, other things. And I think we need to redefine what we mean by leadership. And leadership needs to be at first a unifying force. If we talk about leadership just generally in business, in society, that I think we need to start defining the values that we mean when we say good leadership. And I think it starts with encouraging people to come together, and especially people who disagree. If we do have genetic predispositions that lead us to tend to affiliate with one camp or another, okay, then that's even more hard wiring than you would imagine. And so basically, most people aren't going to change a whole lot. So how do you get to someone's, we call it hearts and minds, right? How do you get to their heart, the humanity that we all share, no matter what, unless you're a sociopath, and we do have those in our society, right? I mean, that's always been the case. But for most of us who aren't sociopathic, we have some range of capacity to care for another human being. And our businesses are one of the few remaining places, our workplaces, where we come together with people with whom we might have a very different mindset. You got your family, you got business, and I would say sports beyond that. Coming together around sports, you get very different views, but we come around sports. Other than that, there's not a whole lot left in our society where we come together and humanize one another around things that are not blatantly political. So I've just been really thinking a lot about the role of business and how to help reinvent the way that we define leadership, more specifically in business, in a way that helps to nurture the garden that we all eat and live in. And businesses play an important role in that. If you go on LinkedIn, and people start making political statements, they are rightly kind of batted down. This isn't a place where that's to be emphasized, and we don't want LinkedIn to go off the rails. But on the other hand, our politics, our society and our politics is the garden in which we all plant our seeds and eat and ostensibly are trying to thrive. And so you can't really separate the two. So to me, coming together around a business venture around a team purpose is a great way to get to know, love, and respect other human beings that you may disagree with on a political front. And so I just think that the work we do in business plays a role in making a better society, and we'd be smart to just really continually emphasize what we mean when we say these terms like leadership. Because if we don't define it, we just leave it up to, whatever definition comes up in anyone else's mind, and then it means nothing. If something means all things to everybody, it means nothing to nobody, as we used to say in branding and marketing. And I think that's really true here. So I guess what I'm saying is, wherever you are, I'd encourage you to challenge your leadership if you're in a business or a government agency. When they talk about leadership and they don't define it, they just assume that you know what it means. Challenge them to define it. What are the values that we hold to be of highest use around a good leader? What does a good leader look like in this organization? And then stand up for what you believe in value-wise, that you want them to hire and promote people who bring people together and don't divide them intentionally, who speak truth and seek truth, and who are curious, and who can be very tough and goal-oriented at the same time, seek to lift up people and have a presumption that we are capable of doing more than we think if we work together. That's my call. I hope that inspires you today, in wherever world you live in, wherever you have a little bit of influence. Maybe if together we're all acting, we can make a difference. And with that, I will leave you for today. Encourage you, as always, be good to yourself and to others. Enjoy your day wherever you are and whatever time it is. And we'll check back with you tomorrow. Thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye for now.